I never really thought of myself as a morning person. But as a teacher, Michaela gets up early in the morning and I get up with her. We watch some TV, drink our coffee, and eat some breakfast together before she has to get ready to go to work. When she leaves, I like to take a couple minutes to just sit at our kitchen table and look out the window and see all the little birdies breaking fast and starting in on the day's work of gathering nest supplies, squirrels scampering around getting their share of the morning's provisions. It's funny, I never really think of my own breakfast that I've just eaten or the second cup of coffee I've just poured myself. My needs are provided and I hardly ever stop to notice or to give proper thanks. But it does stand out to me when the little birds get to eat. And the sea of fallen leaves, individually they're hard to see until they rustle and hop from one place to the next, making themselves visible. And I catch notice of them, and I'm drawn to think about how they are provided for. Look at the birds of the air, Jesus said. I think he knew what it was like to be physically still getting ready, but mentally already plugging away at the work that needs done. So distracted and mentally far off that it's easy to forget that we are also provided for. I think that's why he told us to look at the birds, because it's easier to see for them what we so easily miss for ourselves, that we are tenderly seen, known, and cared for. We get so busy we think that everything depends on us, from the laundry to board meetings to meal times, that we have to produce and strive to make things happen. We certainly have a role to play, but all these things are also fleeting, a sea of change in which the presence and provision of God is the only constant. God stays faithfully, year after year, day after day, moment by moment. So when we make a practice of looking at the birds, we can train our minds and bodies to remember the attention and provision God has for us too. We can make these little shortcuts to remember our everyday graces, like eating. Fasting is another such practice, one that's tried and tested by the church through the millennia to help us refocus and recenter and remember that God provides for us. This season of Lent, we're journeying as a church through the wisdom of Kohelet, the teacher, in Ecclesiastes. His wisdom is hard-won, mined from the vein of his own experiences. Like the teacher's experiential journey towards wisdom, we will also be, as a church family, journeying through our own experience, an experience of communal fasting and prayer, to bind our experiences together and root them in this ancient life-giving practice. In fasting, we experience the hunger of our bellies to mirror the need of the soul, to be met with and filled by God's providing presence. It moves ideas to reality, showing God to be trustworthy. Now, of course, fasting is optional. And if fasting from food isn't possible or healthy for you for whatever reason, that's totally okay. You can give up something else that you depend on, that you habitually turn your focus and gratitude towards. Anything to remind ourselves that, as Jesus said, people do not live on bread alone, but live by the word that comes from the mouth of God. But it's a journey we won't do alone. There's a total of 46 days in Lent, but this year, in a year already marked with isolation, we'll be fasting communally with each person who wants to sign up to fast for whatever day or days they want, so that collectively, when we come together to celebrate Easter, we will, as a whole body, been fasting for 46 days. If you'd like to join us in fasting and prayer, that's great. You can follow the link and sign up for whatever day or days you'd like. But if you're unable to, no worries. You can still participate by praying for our church and whoever is fasting on that day as the thought comes to mind. And for all of us in this upcoming season of Lent, may the Lord of all provision and wisdom and presence keep you close and journey with you in these humble and subtle paths of transformation.